the Simpsons Season 3 review. So, I'm just going to let you know now, I currently have Season 1, 2 uploaded already. Those reviews are already out, so if you want to go check out those and you haven't seen those reviews, those are out currently. And then I also reviewed the Simpsons movie. So, I have a goal for this channel to review every single season of The Simpsons ever. Currently, and then if there's more, of course, I'll review them, but there will always be more Simpsons because it's part of nature's rules now. The world would implode if The Simpsons was ever canceled, so they're never going to. Point is, The Simpsons Season 3. Season 2 and 1 were not very consistently funny, especially Season 1. The animation was very janky in Season 1, and the humor wasn't really there. It was more the stories and the characters. That's kind of why I was watching that season. It was not that interesting of a season, but it was also I think it was the shortest season overall of all the Simpsons seasons, so that is kind of excusable for not being that good. There were still decent episodes in there. The Christmas special one, which is the pilot episode, which is honestly one of the greatest episodes I've ever seen. For like a Christmas special, of pilot for an animated series, at least in terms of pilot, you mind that. And the animation got better in Season 2, but it was not really that consistently funny. This season was more consistently funny. I was laughing a lot more at certain gags, visual gags. There was a lot more visual gags I was laughing at. I was laughing at just random pop culture references and just lines of dialogue and things like that, and certain ideas. And there was also a lot more interesting animation cinematography tried out with this season. There are certain episodes where I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. They tried out a little bit more different angles to where the camera could be and things like that. Of course, this show doesn't actually have a real camera. I know that, so don't put that in the comments. But I'm saying that, it's kind of the illusion of it. And the animation is a lot cleaner and a lot nicer. It looks pretty good. Also, you get to see a lot more of the side characters, which you got to see a lot of in Season 2, but not as much as you do here. You see a lot more of those. You see a lot more celebrity cameos in this season. I think this season has the most celebrity cameos out of the 2 seasons I've reviewed so far. And I really enjoyed this season. This season had a pretty good, consistent, good quality episodes. If there's one episode I didn't like, Bart's friend falls in love. I think that's what it is. The one where Samantha is introduced. That episode was quite boring, honestly. There was no real funny nature to it. It was just a boring episode of just Milhouse and this girl making out. I didn't want to watch that, so that was boring and I didn't like it. I do think, though, a lot of the voice acting got a lot better, especially for celebrity cameos. Some of the voice acting, it was really good here. It's not like there wasn't any in the other seasons, but the voice acting got a lot better, and the tone of this season was more well-defined. The characters continue to get more well-defined as the show goes on. But there's a couple things I've really realized watching these first 2 seasons. Marge's sisters, Selma and Patty, are terrible human beings, and honestly, they're not funny, and they should not be in the show. I hate them as characters. I like their voices, their scratchy voices. That's a terrible impression, but they're like scratchy, like smoker voices. I like their voices. They're pretty well voice acted characters, but they're not good characters. They're quite cruel and mean, and everything they do is out of spite and just horribleness, and I just don't like watching those characters. But I do really love this season, but another problem I really had with this season was Santa's little helper. I mean, every episode that dog has been in, he's caused something horrible for the family, except for the very first episode of The Simpsons, because that's kind of the family's Christmas present. But that's different, though. The rest of it, he ripped up a family heirloom in season 2, and then there's a whole episode about how it cost the family thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, and it cost the family winning millions because there was a joke about them winning the lottery, and it was a funny joke, but at the same time, it's like this dog, you know. Most people, when a surgery costs that money for the dogs, they really do put them down. I know that I've had several times when we had to do that, cats, dogs, whatever, you know. So I didn't find this season, those characters good, and I don't like seeing them. While Santa's Little Helper isn't a horrible character, he does help out Bart and stuff. I have a Santa's Little Helper plush that I bought at the thrift shop. It's somewhere over here on my shelf, behind me, above my bed, and I like him there, but I just have him there because it's like something the show I like. It's represented there, and it's cool looking, and it sits right up there, and it's funny that this season really did have some really good gags. It had some of the best episodes, I would say, some of The Simpsons, like at least one of the best. Homer at the Bat, which is actually in the Baseball Hall of Fame or whatever it's called. That's actually there, and that is because it's such a good episode, and the voice actors and the celebrity guest stars in the episode are really good, and that's just a fantastic episode. Honestly, this is a really good season. Treehouse of Horror, the one in this season was not as good as the one in season 2, but it's still pretty good. I still like this season, and yeah. So we'll talk about season 4 whenever I get done with that. So I kind of just review these at my own pace because I don't want to be rushing through it at all. You know, there's literally like 31 seasons, I believe, so I'm not trying to rush through the season. I'm just trying to watch it at my own pace and then get through it. So, yeah.